So I'm only just saying that to say, again, we just investors, right? We're not wholesalers. We never know what we're going to do, right? I got a couple more strategies I want to go over, but I just wanted to give Al the floor for a minute so he can introduce himself and tell you a little bit about what he do and how long he's been in business and a little bit about rehab and the stuff we're going to talk about and do today on the bus tour.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me. How you doing? I'm here pretty much to just help complete everything Mark is teaching y'all. I mean, I know y'all learned a lot over the last few days, you know, but once you go out and find leads and talk to sellers and set up appointments, it'll still come down to you being able to go out to properties and look at them and assess, you know, what you think those properties will take to fix up. And that way you can make your offer. You know, if you're not comfortable with that, you'll go out and look at properties and you'll be timid about making offers. And while you're thinking about it, somebody else will come behind you and place their offer, you know, and close the deal. Or if you offer too much or too little, you could be stuck with a property that you can't sell, or miss out on deals because you offered too little, you know, and the repairs aren't as much as you think. So pretty much I'm just here today to help you guys, you know, understand what it costs to you know, do plumbing, electrical, sheetrock, all that kind of stuff that you'll come across when you're looking at properties for investors. Of course, it'll differ a little bit from area to area, but it'll definitely give you a start as to what to look for, to know, like, you know, this plumbing needs to be replaced, or this electrical needs to be replaced, or this should happen here, or that should happen there. So. Usually, like when I come in the house, I'll usually just start from the basement. I'll look at the systems and I'll work my way up. So like I'll start with plumbing. Plumbing will start over here behind here, and I'll just look to see if it's copper plumbing or if it's like a galvanized plumbing. But usually, if it's like a galvanized pipe or older plumbing, then I'll, you know, you would look at your repair sheet, and if it's like a galvanized plumbing, which will be like kind of like that silver color, you would expect a rehabber on a rehab to come in and put in a new system. So as y'all can see, this panel box is definitely smaller than the other one. And if you see the wires coming to them, you can see they're older wires, like they're wrapped in like this cloth stuff. So this is like old electrical. So you would definitely, you know, come in and change this electrical out. Most people.
On the door schedule, what's the difference between the electrical rough and the electrical thin?
Electrical rough is just going to be your wires. It's like, you know, it'll be like I would consider the panel box. If you have to replace the panel, the wires, and that's pretty much it. Like your blue boxes and things like that. That'll all be part of your roughing. Your finish will be like your finishes, your ceiling fans, your recessed lights, you know, all those things like that. The lights that you pick to go up in the house, so that stuff will be included in your finishes, because that's the stuff you'll be doing at the end. So the finishes are kind of dependent upon the property that you're doing. You know, you could be doing a lower end property and you'll go with cheaper finishes. You know, if you're doing a high end property, you're going to go with more expensive finishes. So it's the same with plumbing. Plumbing roughing is just like your drain and your supplies. You know, and your plumbing finishes, your toilets, your sinks, your faucet fixtures, all of those things. I think that every rehabber has, you know, their own personal threshold for, you know, what they're comfortable with doing. I don't really care as long as the numbers works. I mean, so if it's like, you know, I have to go in and just start from 4 brick walls, I mean, that's fine. But at the same time, I'll look to make more on it because I'm going to be working on that project more. So I'll look to get that cheaper than I'll look to get a cosmetic rehab where I may go in and, you know, paint, or, I mean, more than paint, but maybe like a kitchen, a bathroom, some paint and floors. You know, that's like a cosmetic rehab, but something that is going to take, you know, 3-4 months to do, you want to make more money on it. So I guess it's just, you know, you kind of balance those two things out. Any more questions y'all may have?
Is there anything with the total taxes that got anything to do with the deal or anything?
With the total taxes that you pay on the property?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. For example, I have a property under contract and I'm supposed to start in a few weeks, and it's in an area where the taxes are really high. So, I mean, that is important because ultimately your end buyer will pay a portion of those taxes every month on their house payment. So yeah, within 90 days you can go and appeal the taxes and try to get your taxes lowered. For example, I think the assessment on the property I'm buying is like $250 or so, but I'm buying it for $110,000. So within that 90 days, I'll go and appeal those taxes and try to get them lowered, so that when I'm turning around selling the property to the end buyer and they're looking at their monthly payment, it'll reflect a lower tax rate than, you know, what it is currently. So it is important, yes.
No experience in repair or anything like that. How would what's the best way probably to find someone like you or someone that would help me?
I mean, that's true. Angie's List is definitely a good site. One of the primary reasons is because, you know, everybody on Angie's List is put on there by people that they've done work for. And so, you know, that'll make a difference versus like a Craigslist where people are creating their own ads and, you know, they can say whatever they want. So it's like Angie's List is good because it's people who've actually had work done, and then they'll go on there and break the contract and their experience with that person and so forth and so forth. But I do think that, I mean, it definitely helps if you can get a ballpark on your own, because one, if a contract is really good, he's probably really busy, and this is about time. You know, if a property's on MLS, you may not have 3 days to wait for an estimate. You know, then they could come out and give you an estimate and take another 3 days and the property is gone.
Yeah.
And it's only, most contractors, after you do that a few times, they'll realize that, you know, they're not getting work out of it and they won't want to do it anymore.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's all about time, and